Hey, what's up? So, as you can see in the description, this is the first of a series on overlooked body parts and muscle groups. Today is going to be about the feet. Um, your feet are your foundation, and just like any other structure, whether it be a building or pretty much anything else, you want a solid foundation because you're only as good as your foundation is. So a lot of the times people will overlook the importance of feet, especially with modern footwear. You'll see that the widest part of the shoe is right here in the back of right behind your toes. That will be the widest part of the shoe, and then your toes will end up being scrunched in. You'll see a lot of people with their big toe that crosses over on the next one, so the four-toe, whatever you want to call it, it'll be crossed over just like that, and that's a symptom of basically you binding your feet up. This isn't healthy. This isn't natural, and you shouldn't be striving for having your foot bunched up like this. What you want, and you can see the shoes that I have. See the shoes that I wear. The widest part of the shoe is at the toes. The toes are the actual widest spot, which is completely natural because your feet are sensory devices. They are meant to grab the ground for various reasons. If you want to know that, you can look up another video on the topic, but this is about lifting weights, and I'm going to stick to the subject. But your feet are sensory devices. Being as so, you want it to have its full function. Because if they're functioning properly in the way they're meant to naturally, you're going to have a solid base. And just like a building, if your foundation / base is weak, the whole building will crumble. Just like anything else, your house, if you have a shitty foundation, your house will go into a sinkhole. You could look up videos on it. A house will be there for some years, and next thing you know, it's tilted and sunk in on itself. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of the subject. So you want your feet to be dexterous and strong. You also want what's closely attached to it to be strong as well. So your ankle. You could do what I do every day to make sure that my feet are strong and stable is I'll do a foot mobility drill, which I'll show you right now. So first, shout out to Kabuki Labs and Chris Duffin for showing me this. So what you want to do is shove this part of your fingers through in between your toes. So you can see how deep I am with it. I'm not fully in down to the webbing of my fingers, or my hands, I mean. What you want to do is you want to sort of squeeze your foot lightly, and you want to turn. And I do this 10 times. In this position, you can see my foot is going to the right or sideways. And then after I do the 10 turns, I bring my foot forward, same thing, light. I turn it 10 times. And then after that's done, I'll shove my whole hand through it. That's like for initial mobility. Do that, bring it down, then have my whole hand in there. Do the same process. Lightly grab the middle of my foot, turn it 10 times, go over here, do it 10 times. So I do that with both feet. It took me a while to gain like the mobility to where my big toe wasn't crossed over my foot, but it's it's possible. If I was able to do it, especially with my right foot, it was really crossed over, and now I can't even force myself to cross it over. Like it's completely apart now. They're not crowding each other, and I could feel my whole foot when I actually lift weights. But now I want to show you this exercise that I do every day. This is like a 2-in-1 or a 3-in-1. So let me show you this exercise now. So what I do, I'll show you this sort of the assisted version of this now. So what I do is I splay out my toes as much as I can. And then I go at a 45-degree angle. I push this leg out and my head out. So I'm like trying to separate my back foot from my head as much as possible. And that sort of creates a rigid torso, and that's what you want. Actively push away at the ground with the foot that's planted too. So 3 points. This foot as far back as possible, not up, but back and head up. And then this foot is pushing away from the ground as much as possible. Or your leg. You're trying to push your body. I'll demonstrate this for you without any assistance. So I come in and I spread out. I go like this. Come in, and you sort of want to try and collapse your leg in a little bit. You don't want your knee to come in. You just want to feel it. You want to feel some tension in your adductors when you do it. This way you could stretch out a lot of the your glute medius a little bit. And then when you come up, you want to use your glute max. Not your minimus so much, but your glute maximus, and that's what you want to be propelling yourself up. You want to open up that hip. So you want to shove your knee, you want to shove that knee to the outside. You want to shove that knee to the outside. That's going to engage your glute max as much as possible. You come back in, slowly, controlled. Try to get within that adductor again. Then you use that glute max. Then you're done. So the muscle, what this does a few different things, but primarily this is what I use to strengthen my foot. So this will strengthen all the muscles within your foot. You have to flex it. You have to flex all the muscles within your foot. What this does is strengthen all the muscles within your foot. And I'll show you the muscles right now.
I'd like to touch on flat feet real quick. If you have flat feet, you'll probably never be cured of it, but you do have muscles in the bottom of your feet. If you want to have a better environment for lifting or at least a little bit of an arch, or like you'll want to work out your foot muscles no matter what, it will only benefit you. That being said, these are the muscles. This is the muscle that's going to create an arch, which is exactly what you want. You want an arch when you lift, because it keeps it to where your ankles don't collapse, which if your ankle collapses, your knees will collapse, all that. Like I said, you want a stable, very resilient foundation to your lifts. And doing the exercises that I just showed you will help you create the arch and build these. The second one, the hip airplane, will help build this muscle right here. Not only that, but it'll give you a better understanding on how to keep your ankle in alignment.
So you see what it does now. When it comes to the foot muscles, it stabilizes your ankle. It helps you with coordination on both sides of your body. It also helps you with balance, which is awesome. But primarily, this is how I strengthen my foot. I've helped people with flat feet with this exercise, particularly. Obviously, their feet are still sort of flat, but they have the muscle to stabilize the rest of their body now. So that's it for today. I'll be making other videos on this subject, the more overlooked muscles and all that good stuff. But thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Peace.